On May 2, 1986, at the Tour de Corse, the same event where Attilio Bettega had died the year before, Group B's final chapter began. Henri Toivonen, a Finnish driver widely regarded as one of the most naturally gifted talents in the sport, was competing alongside American co-driver Sergio Cresto in a Lancia Delta S4, the same twin-charged, nearly 500 horsepower machine that had represented the absolute cutting edge of Group B engineering. On the second stage of the rally, on a mountain road lined with dense forest, Toivonen's Delta S4 left the road on a corner and went down a ravine. The car burst into flames almost immediately. Both Toivonen and Cresto were killed. The exact cause of the crash has never been definitively established, though the severity of the fire that followed became a significant part of the discussion that followed, given the large volume of fuel these highly powerful cars carried. The response from motorsport's governing body was immediate, and unlike Portugal 2 months earlier, this time, it was final. FISA announced that Group B would be banned from World Rally Championship competition, effective at the end of the 1986 season, with an even more radical successor category, Group S, that had already been in development, cancelled entirely before it ever raced. Rather than continuing to search for a way to regulate these cars back towards safety, the sport's leadership concluded that the entire technical approach itself needed to end. Toivonen's death carried particular weight within the sport precisely because of who he was. He wasn't a marginal competitor caught up in circumstances beyond his control. He was widely considered among the very best drivers of his generation, competing for one of the era's most successful teams, in one of the most developed cars Group B had ever produced. If a driver of his caliber, in a car representing the pinnacle of the category's engineering, could be killed this suddenly and this completely, it became difficult for anyone within the sport to argue that better driving or better luck could have prevented what was, by that point, an increasingly inevitable outcome of the cars themselves. Beginning in 1987, the World Rally Championship moved to Group A regulations instead, the same broader production-based category that Nissan's R32 GTR and Ford's Sierra RS500 would go on to dominate in touring car racing around the very same time. Group A's stricter homologation requirements, larger minimum production numbers, tighter weight and power regulations, were specifically designed to prevent a repeat of what Group B had allowed to happen, purpose-built, near-unlimited racecars wearing the thinnest possible disguise of a road car. Group B's active competition life lasted less than 5 years, from 1982 to 1986. In that short window, it produced some of the most spectacular, technically advanced rally cars ever built, cars whose engineering DNA, all-wheel drive, turbocharging, lightweight construction, would go on to influence road cars and race cars for decades afterward. But it also produced a body count that the sport has never fully set aside, and a lasting lesson that continues to shape motorsport safety regulation to this day, that raw engineering capability, pushed forward without equally serious limits on where and how it's allowed to operate, will eventually outrun the humans, both behind the wheel and standing along the road, who have to live with the consequences.